Okay, I've had a lot of questions from customers about an easier way of finding the CSS or XPath selectors that you use for Price Comparison Pro. I'm aware a lot of you aren't developers. If you do have developers, then you should just get them to do it. It's very easy for developers to find these. But if you're not a developer and you're using Price Comparison Pro, then there's a couple of extensions that you can use. One of them is available for both Chrome and Firefox. The other one is only available for Chrome. I don't know about Safari. I don't use Safari. I don't like Safari. But anyway, so once you've found the price selectors, you'll be putting them in here. And that's for either the price or the sale price. And here are the two extensions that we're talking about. The first one is called Selector Gadget, only available for Chrome. And the other one is xPath, which is available for Chrome and Firefox. Okay, so in this example here, this is the Ultimate Ears Boom 3, a really nice speaker. Now what you would do is you right click the price and then choose inspect, and that brings up this developer console. Now for xPath you have to click this little thing over here and get to the xPath tab. Now if you're seeing a really complicated CSS or XPath selector like this, then it might be better to select the parent element, okay, like here. Okay, so then you see the relative XPath there is //div class equals price row. Okay, and that's quite nice. That's using xPath, and that one works quite nicely. Now if you're actually using Selector Gadget, then you have this little button, and you can actually click on the item, and in this case with Selector Gadget, it tells me that there's 13 matches. We don't want 13 matches, we only want one, so unselect that and then try and select the parent row. You just select to the right of it or somewhere around, you'll see it getting highlighted, and then here now we see that we have one item, and the CSS for that is .price-row. Okay, that then you would just copy paste that into your config. Now if you're using xPath, then you've got the relative XPath down here, and you can click this little copy button here to grab it. So that's on ultimateears.com. I'll show you with Amazon. So if I right click inspect element, then you'll see xPath is telling me hash price block _ our price. That's quite a nice one. Use whichever one, use the simplest one. You see this XPath up here is a-span12 blah blah blah. All this stuff, if you've got a really complicated one like that, it is going to work until or when Amazon change some of the layout of their page. Okay, so you want as simple a one as possible that only selects one item, and you can see here xPath tells you one matching node found. Okay, now I'll show you again here with Selector Gadget. You click Selector Gadget and then it starts highlighting everything over the page. I don't know, to deselect that so I can get rid of this thing. Okay, so now if I hover over the price, then it's got me a.span12, but that matches 12 items. So if I go here, there we go, we have hash price block _ our price, which is also what xPath is finding. Now you can just copy paste that into your Price Comparison Pro price selector area. I'll show you another example. This is on apple.com. If I right click inspect this, then by default again it will go to the deepest part of the HTML. You can see the HTML on the left here. If I go up one level, then I get a better XPath here, span class equals current price. Now with Selector Gadget, I would click and it's telling me span matches 232, so I don't want that one. And then this one here, that matches one price, so that's .as-pdb price, and you can see clear one is to clear the selector, but it's only matching one item, so that's exactly what you want. Now Price Comparison Pro, if it does match more items, it will use the first price it found, and I mean you might have cases where that would be the case, like see down here you have other prices for related products, and normally the related products are second on the page, but you really want to try and find either a CSS selector or an XPath that will only match one item. Then I'll show you another example. This is from JB Hi-Fi, again from the same product. Where is the price? Oh yeah, the price is over here. now I need to click over to here to get CrowPath. Now if you see something like this, relative XPath span contains text 149, you don't want that, because then if the price changes it won't match. So you want to try and find something that matches, and there's a good one there. So you just keep going up a parent until you get one that still only matches one node, but then it's a much simpler XPath. So then that XPath is //p at class equals price. And then using selector gadget, if I select this price, we have .regular which matches 2. If I click this, then you have .price matches 1, and that would be your CSS selector. With selector gadget, you can also convert that to XPath, but it's it's not as easy to use that part as CrowPath. Now there's one more example I'd like to show you before I show you the same thing in Firefox, which is if, well, you really want to try and get, there probably will be a different selector for the regular price if the product is on sale. Now inside your config, you can actually have multiple selectors here separated by commas. You can see that in here, right? You've got the hash price .a-text strike comma and then a price block, right? So that is basically, it will attempt to find the strike through price first. So you put the strike through price first in your config and then the regular one. And in this case, so using CrowPath, right click, inspect element, switch over to CrowPath. Now, well, we need to switch selector gadget off because it's pulling that out. But then you have, yeah, so the XPath is //span, class equals a text strike. You can just copy that. Or using selector gadget. Wait, I don't need to switch it off again. Sometimes if you hover over it, it messes it up. So then over here, hover over the price, click it, and you get the CSS selector .a-text-strike. Okay, so in that case you would copy that and paste it into your config in Price Comparison Pro. So normally for your regular price, for the price selector, you want normally to have 2 selectors. One for the first one is the strike through, and the second one is the price without the strike through, and then you put the sale price on the right hand side. It's really as simple as that. Again, if you have developers, all developers will be able to handle this. Some of the developers will even be able to do it using regular expressions if you want, but this is really simple using this Chrome extension. You can make all you really need to make sure is that you have a simple XPath or a simple CSS selector that it only matches one item. You can see in selector gadget it's telling me one item here, and then in CrowPath it's telling me here one matching node found. Okay, now I'll show you the same thing, well, it's with CrowPath only, but on Firefox. And with that, with the same examples, it's a similar approach. Inspect element, you have to go over here to to this tab, CrowPath, and then you have the XPath here. For some reason the CrowPath CSS is not as good as the selector gadget, so in these cases you'd want to be using XPath for your config, and in that case it's telling you //div class price row, it's telling you one matching node found, so we're good to go. And then again on this Amazon example, inspect element, click CrowPath, and then you've got span ID equals price block _ price. You can just click that little copy button to the left, and that's you got that price. On the Apple website, similarly, right click the price, inspect element, click the CrowPath tab. Okay, in this case that's not a good one, right, because that's got span contains text 149. So go back to your inspector and click the parent. You can sort of read that most of the HTML will actually have useful classes. You can see this class here says equals current _ price. So a developer will be able to look at that and just say, okay, well, it's going to be .current _ price as your CSS selector for that. But if you select the parent here in this thing and then switch over to CrowPath, then it's still not working as well, actually. Why did that not work as well? Hold on. Okay, so you have to mess about with that, but I mean, it seems like the one in Chrome is working better, and it's a combo of XPath or selector gadget that is going to get you what you need. Because you really don't want these kind of ones, the ones where you're saying contains the text of the price, because then if the price changes, you're defeating the purpose. But what we can do, if I click inspect, and then this, if I try and select the parent, yeah, it's quite complicated on Firefox. So I recommend you use Chrome and probably use the selector gadget extension because it's bringing out the nice CSS selectors for you. I'll give one more attempt on this JB Hi-Fi website. So that is selecting the price, and then XPath, click inspect, and again it's really not. Well, there we go. Sometimes if you select just a little bit to the left, you can actually access the parent, and then you see it's //p class equals price. But I recommend you use the Chrome extensions for this, the selector gadget extension for this, as that one really works a lot simpler. So once you've got those, you want to be putting them into your config. And again, you want to get the strike through price listed first for your price selector, the price when it's on sale, the regular price when it's on sale, and then how it is normally, and then you want the actual sale price. So in this example for the sale price, this is again using selector gadget. If I click here, then we have, well, let's not get that one, there we go. So that's, oh no, wait, I'll unselect that one and then select this, and there we go, hash price block underscore our price. The way that selector gadget works is once you've selected something, you can deselect it. When you hover over it, it will be highlighted in red, and you can deselect that item. But that is your sale price. So in this case, on the Amazon website, the sale price is the same price as the retail price. It's hash price block our price, and so, but you know, our other one will, the regular price will be found, so it knows that if there's a regular price and then there's a sale price that's cheaper, then it knows that that product's on sale, and it'll be updated properly on your website. Update WooCommerce and everything for you if you're using those options. But that's it, it's really easy. You can get XPath and selector gadget. You just type in selector gadget. There's a website for them as well. Both of these extensions are free. Both of them are usable. I prefer selector gadget, although to be honest I just look at the actual CSS and pick them up myself because I'm a developer. But if you're not, then this will really help you get prices from any website.